This is Weekly Woman by Jubilance for PMS. Well, welcome, Yashika. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Alice. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure
Yes,
connecting with you.
yes, I'm so glad we got this connection to work. We were back and forth with scheduling.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, first of all, so you're in India. Our time difference is very different.
Correct.
But we've been hearing a lot about India in the news lately and just everything that's been happening. Well, luckily, like good things right now with Diwali.
Thankfully.
Thank God.
Correct. A lot of festivities around.
Yes, which is so wonderful. But how are you during the pandemic? I hope you and your family were okay.
Yes, we are right now, but I would
Good.
say we all have been victims of the COVID thing that was going on. So it was difficult. It's been difficult for a lot of people, who've been losing jobs, and we get to hear so many things, so many loved ones whom people have lost. So thankfully, luckily, none of such case in my family and my close ones.
Oh,
But
good.
yeah, it's sad. It's sad. A good thing that happened to me during the pandemic is that I gave birth to a baby. So yeah.
That's so wonderful. Oh my
Yeah, so I
gosh,
became a mother during the
congratulations.
pandemic. Thank
Oh my
you. I
gosh.
became a mother during the pandemic. It was equally difficult and challenging because you have that mask all the time. You're already in that
Wow.
panicky state, and it was no doubt a much more challenging situation. But yeah, that's something that turned out to be beautiful. So
Wow.
that's the only good thing that happened to me, I would say.
Yeah.
Rest everyone knows how the world has been doing.
Yeah. Oh, what a weird time. I'm in New York City, so we had our own terrible start to the pandemic. Um,
Correct.
but uh but I'm so glad.
How's everything at your place?
Oh, it's okay. New York is finally, it feels like it's coming back alive finally. Yeah, it's like everyone's a little nervous, but museums are finally opening, theaters are opening, so it's strange to like slowly go back to
Yeah,
the city. Is
right.
everything more open where you are now?
Yes. It's opening up. And a lot of things feel normal now because the cases have gone down. So yeah,
Oh,
hoping
good.
to see things improve. And I think vaccinations have really helped because I'm also vaccinated now. So that's kind of, I think, making a difference. And I don't get to listen to a lot of cases around which we used to, on a daily basis. We were so scared to even step out and with a baby, and we were
Yeah.
like under house arrest all the time. So it was kind of crazy, but yeah, now it's a lot better.
Yeah, that's good that you can like step out of the house and do things which you have been. Can you tell
Correct.
can you tell our audience about what you just won?
Oh, yes, certainly. So it's a pleasure. In fact, with a lot of honor, I would like to tell everyone that I have won a pageant that's titled Mrs. Maharashtra 2021. And for everyone who is, thank you. So for everyone who is not aware of the state Maharashtra, it's a really huge state in our country in India. And as the state's name is, Maharashtra, Maha means big, Rashtra means nation. So yeah, we are one of the second largest states in our country with regards to population, with regards to its size. It's quite massive, and I have won the pageant that actually represents Maharashtra, especially now that I'm married. So I am Mrs. Maharashtra, and I would like to show you my crown as well.
Yes, please.
This is the crown. Can you see?
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. That
Yeah.
is gorgeous. Okay, you
Thank
need
you
to
so
wear
much.
that for like just out and about.
Yeah. So I get to go to a lot of places now. In fact, just day before yesterday, I had been to a really well-known brand's inauguration in our local area. But yeah, everybody was really happy, and in fact, I did not even expect that I can actually win something like this post getting married, because the kind of things and responsibilities that you get onto your shoulders, and you get involved into. But yeah, family has been supportive, so I've been doing good.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So now do you compete for Mrs. India? Is that what happens?
Correct. Correct. So it's kind of mandatory for me. I have to go to another state, which is the capital of our country, Delhi. I have to go over there for Mrs. India that's happening next month in December.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's
So
amazing.
wish me
Okay.
luck. Yeah. Yeah. Keep your fingers crossed.
Yes.
Hope I get another crown as well.
Yes, I hope so. That's so amazing.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Yeah. How did you start to get
Thank you.
involved
Thank you.
with pageants in the first place?
So that's something that I've always looked at as a little girl, and but with a lot of things. So to begin with, I lost my father when I was just 12. So I could not really do a lot of things that I wanted to do. A lot of responsibilities. It was just my mom and my sister and me. So I started working pretty early. Generally in India, people don't really become independent quite soon. So we were
Mhm.
generally dependent on our parents. But that did not really happen to me, and I wasn't that lucky. So I started working when I was 15. That was when I did my first job, and then it all started, and I could not really do what I wanted to. I always looked up to pageants because I knew these beautiful looking women out there are actually doing something for the society as well.
Mm.
So that's something that I always felt makes them all the more beautiful. And yeah, as we all know, we call them beauty with a purpose. So yeah, that always enticed me, and suddenly I was just looking up online. I just thought now is the time probably I can look at something like that, and I
Mhm.
found this one. So I just happened to register myself. I got a call. It was mostly online because of the pandemic. It wasn't very offline,
Okay.
but yeah, they interviewed me. I had a telephonic round with the panel, and then they asked me for a couple of videos, my measurements, and the routine stuff that the pageants really have. The criteria that they follow.
Mhm.
So yeah, I became the finalist, and when I actually got into it, there was such amazing women out there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm a fresher, I cannot make it. So, but I just went into it thinking that it's going to be a beautiful experience. I am sure it's going to transform my life. It's going to change a lot that I have in me. I'm certainly going to learn something out of it. So that's the kind of mindset I had at that time.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
then
gosh,
yeah,
that's
when
wonderful.
it,
And you made it.
yeah, I know, quite surprising.
No, amazing. Um,
Thank you so much.
yeah, because I saw everything that you were doing before the pageant and like you were
Yeah,
saying, beauty with a purpose. Can you talk a little
correct.
bit about what you were up to with that? I think that's so
Sure.
inspiring.
Yeah, certainly. So Dieden, the organization in which I had participated, strongly believes in spreading awareness related to menstruation. So I don't know if you're aware about it, but in a country where I live, menstruation is like a huge thing out here. Like women are not supposed to talk about it. It's a big secret, and men shouldn't know about it, even if you're menstruating. It's kind of looked at in a very shameful manner. So
Mm.
so the moment you get your first periods, and the first time when we get to know about it as girls, the first thing that we've been taught in our country is that it's not a good thing.
Mm.
You're supposed to hide it, and there are huge taboos around it. Like if you touch a pickle, if you touch a jar of pickles, it will get spoiled.
What?
Yeah, oh God, if I talk about the taboos that we have out here, a lot of things have changed over a period of time, but yeah, it's still there. Then a lot of things, if you touch plants, they'll die.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, so people just have made it, even in villages and rural areas right now. They actually make women not eat with them. uh,
Mm.
you know uh, and definitely everywhere in India, I'm sure a lot of people follow it. We're not supposed to worship God during menstruation.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird because I think, especially after becoming a mother, and I have been a victim of PCOS as well, if you're aware of it. I'm sure you must be knowing PCOS. It's a disorder, and it is
Yeah.
related to
Oh.
hormones and stuff. So where I never got, my periods on time and stuff. And then, I just realized that it's such an important thing. When it is so important, how can it be such a shameful thing for a woman?
Mm-hmm.
So, so all of these, thoughts came in me since very very long time I've been thinking about it. And when I got into Diadem, they have been supporting this entire thing of removing all the taboos around it, spreading awareness, because when there are so many taboos, women don't actually come out and speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very big problem, because then they are not aware of a lot of things around it. They don't know the basic hygiene that's supposed to be maintained. They don't know that what they're supposed to do with the cramps that they get, the supplements that they can probably have, or the yoga exercise that's there. Nobody talks about it because it's such a shameful thing.
Yeah.
People are just like just bear it and just deal with it.
Oh,
So yeah, it's kind of really sad, and which is why we've actually taken it up, and we want to make a change. We want this entire thing to change.
wow,
So
that's
yeah,
amazing. Yeah, that's what this podcast is about. It's about like giving voice to those things that we don't talk about. I mean,
correct, correct.
periods in America are still taboo. People aren't talking
Really?
about it. You're not supposed to talk about it with your partner. Um,
Oh,
but it's something that's being more and more addressed. So
correct, correct.
that's amazing that you're able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
didn't know in America as well. It's the same thing, because
yeah,
I just thought maybe my country is such
no, it's
such
shameful. You're not supposed to talk about it. I get like
Oh,
we have the taboos if like if like the moon causes your period, or
uh-huh.
you can't swim on your period.
Oh,
But
nice.
all of those like can be addressed, and like the moon thing isn't real at all. But
Correct.
it's a thing that like we need to talk about, we need to speak about,
Of
because
course,
half of the world is
of course.
experiencing this.
Correct, correct, correct. And like I mentioned, because I was one of the victims of PCOS,
Mm,
I realized that it's such an important thing, and something that's so important. And, it actually helps you, supports you in bringing a life into existence.
mhm,
So when, it is so important, why people don't talk about it? Why are women made to feel that it's something bad that is happening to them? First
mhm,
of all, it's not in our control to begin with. Second, if it's happening, it's not a bad thing. It's actually it's good for your body, for everyone to realize that it makes you a lot woman.
mhm,
So so yeah, we are actually working on it. I've been to a couple of NGOs where I've been talking about it, and trying to spread awareness related to menstrual hygiene. And wherever I can, I'm just trying to distribute to the underprivileged, or
mm,
people who cannot really afford pads, sanitary napkins. I'm trying to distribute those to them, because currently there's so many options available in the market.
mm.
Not just those sanitary napkins, but you have tampons, you have so many other things right now. But people are not aware of it. In our country, especially, people who can't afford it are still using cloth. And
Oh,
we just don't know how then they are with regards to hygiene and stuff like that, and that causes a lot of issues.
mhm.
So yeah, so our aim is to actually change a lot of things around it.
Wow, that's wonderful. And I love what you said about like this is what creates life. Like that's so
Correct,
real. And like with you
correct,
having a baby, it just kind of
correct.
emphasizes that and that need to talk
Absolutely.
about this.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Oh,
It's
that's
it's very
wonderful.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about your city? I'd love to hear a little bit more about it. What's your favorite part about it?
So my city is called, it's Mumbai, basically where I'm from. It's Mumbai. It's a very popular city in our country, because it's said that it's where dreams turn into reality. It's a city where Bollywood lives. Like Hollywood, we have Bollywood out here. So I don't know if you know a couple of actors, and in
Yes.
Bollywood. You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone you can name?
Uh, Priyanka Chopra,
Oh yes, yes.
who
She's
was
made a big
also Miss
name.
India.
Yes, yes. She
Yes.
was Miss World, in fact.
Oh, Miss World.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes. So yeah, it all originates from the city, and it's got a lot of tourist places. It's it's I would say the city where I live is one of the most planned and the cleanest cities in our country.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very nice. It's there's a lot of greenery around. It's not too noisy. It's
Oh, that's
pretty.
good.
Yeah. So
Is it,
people call it pretty residential, but yeah, a lot of we have one of the biggest malls and all of that. So things are pretty accessible, and we have a lot of corporate hubs. And there's something I would love to name places, but I don't know how much would you actually
oh no,
remember.
please tell me more.
So yeah, so we have Gateway of India out here that people love to see. We have I would like to name the shopping hubs that we have over here is in Bandra and quite popular.
Hmm,
South Bombay is really popular, and where I am from is Navi Mumbai. It's a more it's like the extended version of Mumbai,
gotcha.
and yeah. So yeah, multiple tourist destinations. If you ever think of coming out here, I would love to host you.
Yes, I would love to visit India someday.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. And I don't know if it's a good thing to say, but in our country, it's one of the safest cities, I would say, because people you'll actually see roaming around, even during midnight at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And we're not that scared.
Okay.
We know our city is safe.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That sounds like New York City.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure you'll love it.
Yeah. And something we always ask on the podcast is what is your definition of womanhood?
Uh-huh. So I think womanhood is strength. For me, if I have to
Hmm.
really choose one word, it's just strength. The courage, the strength, the the thing that we have in us is amazing. Like I mentioned, we can create a life, and I think that's not less than a miracle. So it's I think womanhood should be more cherished in our country. We worship goddess. We worship goddess Durga. Worship goddess Shakti. The aim of the goddess is Shakti. Shakti
Hmm.
means strength. So we
Hmm.
worship. We actually worship womanhood. We actually worship. Goddesses a lot in our country.
Huh.
So that sometimes becomes a little contradictory, because while we worship goddesses so much, women are not really treated that well in a few
Mhm.
places, in a few parts of our country. And that's what we want to change.
Yeah.
So we're just hoping that, we don't really get into hypocrisy, and we don't just worship goddesses, and then, on the other hand, not treat women properly. So,
Hmm.
so that's not the thing, that because I don't know if you're aware of it, but we in India believe a lot in spirituality, religions, and culture, values. We, in fact, even I belong to a joint family, which is quite rare. In a lot of parts of the world, it's something that is very rare. I feel there are two families living together, two
Hmm.
brothers and their families. So I have a total of 7 members at my place, and we're very closely connected.
Wow.
Yeah, even if it's about my husband's sisters, and we all live close by. We have multiple get-togethers,
Hmm.
and yeah, so it's a country where we actually have so many. It's famous for its diversity,
Hmm.
multiple languages, and diversity of cultures, and so many things. So I think if women are it's changing. It's come a long way, but I still feel there's a lot more to change,
Hmm.
and a lot can be done, starting from period taboos itself. I think a lot should change.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So that's
that's
that's what I
awesome.
feel truly about womanhood. It's something that needs to be valued, appreciated much more. I have my mother-in-law and another my uncle's wife and all that. They're housewives, and when I look at them working, I feel, oh my god, they do so much, and why they're not appreciated. It's sometimes you just take women for granted. It's like you just
Hmm.
have to do it. you,
Yeah.
you know so I come across people telling me, oh, you're so lucky your husband helps you with diaper changing and cleaning your room and stuff, and I'm like, it does not make me lucky. I mean, probably I just found the right guy,
Yeah.
but
He needs
it's
to do that.
exactly. So when I do it, it's like, oh, you are a mother and you're a woman, you're supposed to do it. But when
Mhm.
a guy does it, when a man does it, he just is supposed to be like, probably celebrated.
Worship.
That's wow,
Thank
worship.
you.
Yeah, it's like wow, being a man, you did it. But I think that entire thought process needs to change
Yeah.
because we all are, like I am also a working professional. I'm working as an HR professional with Hindustan Unilever. If you know Hindustan as a brand, Unilever.
Yes, yes. Oh,
So I work for Hindustan Unilever as an HR professional. So it's a lot of things, that I have to manage. But I don't think that everybody appreciates me for that. People are just like, okay, fine, you took it up. But for my husband, if he goes to work and he comes back and he's helping me out, people are like, wow, you're so lucky. So that has to
wow.
change.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're doing a lot to start to change all of that with this idea of strength and your idea of strength to just even start like going to a pageant to
Correct.
start making those changes to talk about menstruation.
Right.
That's amazing, Yashika.
Thank you so much, Alice.
Yeah.
It's
And then another question I have is, do you have advice for your younger self?
Oh, yes. So, I would say that's also a very common pageant question. So I'm pretty ready to answer that.
Perfect.
So I think the only advice that I would like to give to my younger self would be to take life a little more, casually and not too seriously, because I have been, just thinking about since the time, like I mentioned, I started off very early. So I've never been into, hanging out with friends and bunking my lectures and putting those proxies, going around. I haven't done all of that. Now, when I look back, I just feel I cannot do that again. So
Hmm.
why didn't I do it earlier? So, it's like those small things where you have to live the moment and not stress yourself out and not overthink. I think that's some thing I would love to tell my younger self, that just take things a little lightly and don't overburden yourself.
Yes, I think I need that advice as well.
Yeah, of course, because I don't know if I am sure you don't know about it, but I had 3 years back, I had a surgery in my ankle, and
Hmm.
of nowhere, there was just a tumor found.
Oh,
So yeah, I know it was a benign form of tumor, thankfully not
oh, good.
cancerous. So yeah, so that's when I realized a lot of things, that actually changed my entire definition of beauty as well. I just felt, having all your organs functioning and in place is beautiful in itself. It's a
Hmm.
blessing. So because you become so dependent, and for people who are victims of various types of cancer and tumors and all of that, you just feel so bad, because you've not done anything to face all of that. You just
Yeah.
end up feeling that. So that time, I actually realized when I was on bed, like most of the times, thinking, why am I here and what wrong did I do? I realized, you just don't know what's there for you tomorrow.
Hmm.
So, which is why it's very important to again not stress yourself and overburden yourself. Just enjoy and yeah, just stay happily. Just live and let live.
Yes.
So,
Oh, that's nice. Live and let live.
yeah, yeah, that's so important.
Yes.
So be happy.
Yeah, I think that's most important, especially
Yeah,
after
and
this year.
yeah, and
Be
just be
happy.
content. I think that's more important as well. It's important to be content. Unless you have that level of contentment in you, unless you're satisfied with everything, you'll never be happy. So that's all
Hmm.
connected.
Yeah.
While you always strive to do better and strive to do the best and find good things and get best opportunities, definitely you should have that rigor in you.
Hmm.
But having said all of that, you should also, cherish and celebrate all the milestones in your life.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you have like some more milestones to go. So you had a baby this year, you are a pageant winner, and then you're going for Mrs. India. What's
Oh
next
my
for
God.
you, Yashika?
I really don't know now what's next for me, because Mrs. India has put me into so much of thinking that I was just telling my husband, I am also a student, in fact. I'm also studying psychology.
What? That's
So
amazing.
Yeah, so as I told you, I just sometimes take up so many things, and I didn't know pageant is going to happen. So I just thought, why not study? Because I've always had this inclination towards psychology. It kind of makes me think how others think, and why
Hmm.
people have different personalities, and probably I can help someday somebody change their life.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that thought process, I got into it. So I'm also studying, and now I have pageant. So I don't know what's next.
Wow. So, yes, you
Yeah,
have so much going on. A true
yeah,
Renaissance woman.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah. Yashika, is there anything else you'd like to add to our listeners today?
I think I've already spoken so much, but something that I would love to tell everyone is that live every moment and with no regrets.
Hmm.
So that's another very important thing that I feel. You take your own decisions very wisely. Not that you just take it, but yeah, you be accountable for what you're doing. Stay happy, and people ask me questions related to feminism, and I personally feel feminism is it's become such a big thing right now, but it's nothing that a woman is asking for. It's just equality. it's
Mm-hmm.
it's where you treat both the genders equally. I've given a few examples during this entire conversation where we're still not being treated equally. So that's something that hurts. And while we are as humans, as men around, or as anyone else, I think equality is something that we all should try to bring about in our society, be it
Mm-hmm.
not just gender, be it race, religion, caste, or anything and everything. I think equality will make life a lot more better.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for leaving us with that.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
and amazing that you're striving to change that.
Yes, yes. I hope I end up making some difference.
Yes, it was amazing to get to talk to you today, Yashika.
Thank you, Alice. Likewise, I've really been looking forward to connecting with you. In fact, I would like to listen a few things from you about jubilance as well, through which
Oh,
we actually got connected. So I
oh
would love
yes.
to hear it from you.
Yeah. So Jubilance, it's a supplement that helps with the emotional side of PMS. So
Right.
anxiety, stress, irritability, and gloominess.
Uh-huh.
And it helps in about 80% of women. It helps them like reduce those symptoms by like 50%. So you can really
Wow.
tell about it during the month. I actually started taking it when I was in college because I had such bad PMS
Wow.
um, and so
It's a real problem.
yes, it was terrible. I was like, "Ah!"
All
and
over.
but it would just happen that 1 week a month, and I would feel crazy. But so Jubilance is a new supplement that's there to help women because there isn't
Amazing.
really a solution to those emotional problems.
Correct. Correct.
And so this is a new supplement that can help women with those that single week of the month so you can feel like more
Right.
like yourself.
Right. Right. That's so important. I'm so happy that actually someone thought about it.
Yeah.
It's a topic that mostly people wouldn't think of.
I know. And it seems like women's health is so behind
Right.
in like our study of it, which is
Correct.
crazy. It seems
Correct.
like if this was a men's issue, it would have been sorted out like a million years ago. But
Yes,
luckily
maybe.
it can be part of the conversation now. So
Yeah, correct.
um
Correct. It's
yeah.
important, it's and that's how it is. Even if a woman is struggling, we just let her struggle, and
Mhm.
that needs to change, because uh, she shouldn't be struggling. We
Mm-mm.
should, handheld her. We should help her. We should let her, get a little more relaxed and probably, not really face so many challenges. Even when I look at women, struggling with their work and stuff like that, I just feel, why don't you ask for help, and why don't people
Mhm.
help you? Why is it that everything has to be done by the woman of the house?
Yes. And it's such a taboo to ask for that help or to acknowledge that this is even happening. It was really hard for me to like even say the word period when I was growing up. But now I like work for a company where we're like, menstruation, but but it's good to just be able to have this voice and to hear from you about these taboos and how we can start to change that by just talking about it.
Absolutely. And I just hope a lot of people get to hear us, listen to us, and that actually brings about a change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much for being on today, Yashika.
Thank you so much. Really, Alice, it's been wonderful talking to you.